In the massive world of K-pop, some performances just hit different. They stick with you long after the music stops. Today, we're going to figure out exactly why that is by diving into the incredible artistry of one of its most captivating figures, Jimin of BTS. So, what is it that makes a performance truly unforgettable? Is it just about raw power? Is it that perfect, flawless synchronization we see so often? Or is there something else entirely? Well, we're going to get to the bottom of that by looking at an artist who has, honestly, completely redefined what's possible on a K-pop stage. Okay, so let's get into it. If you've watched enough K-pop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are certain artists who just have that it factor, a quality that just grabs your attention and absolutely refuses to let go. And Jimin, he is absolutely one of those performers. And that unique quality, that it factor, it really comes from this fascinating blend of styles. He somehow manages to bring this incredibly sophisticated, almost elegant contemporary grace and inject it right into the middle of K-pop's super dynamic, high-energy world. And the real secret? The key to how he pulls it off? It all goes back to his foundation. All right, to really get a handle on his style, we have to rewind a bit. I mean, way back, before the global superstardom, before all of it. Because the source of his completely distinct way of moving comes from some really formal, really rigorous training. And listen, this is a really crucial point. He wasn't just, taking a few classes on the side. No way. He majored in modern dance at the Busan High School of Arts, which is one of South Korea's most prestigious art schools. This isn't just about learning a few steps, it's about fully embodying an entire philosophy of movement. So, what exactly is modern dance anyway? Well, unlike some other more rigid forms of dance, its main goal is all about emotional expression. The body literally becomes an instrument for storytelling, for connecting with the music on a much, much deeper level. If you think about pioneers like Martha Graham, it's all about that raw, unfiltered human expression. Okay, and this slide really puts it all into perspective, right? On one hand, you have traditional K-pop styles, which are often all about that sharp, powerful, super synchronized movement that comes from hip-hop and street dance. But then you have modern dance, which brings in fluidity, nuance, and this deep interpretive storytelling. It's like they're two completely different languages of movement, and somehow Jimin is fluent in both. And look, this isn't just us reading into it. In a 2018 interview with Vogue, Jimin said it himself. He said, "My modern dance background helps me express emotions more freely in my performances." I mean, that just shows you how conscious and intentional his artistry really is. So the big question is, how does this very academic, very specific background actually translate to, a sold-out stadium show? Well, what it does is create this entirely new stylistic layer inside of K-pop itself. And honestly, there is no better example of this fusion in action than BTS's performance of Black Swan. Seriously, this case is a total masterclass in how to blend modern dance principles with the K-pop framework. I mean, if you really look closely at the choreography, especially in the opening, you can see it so clearly. The movements are just so fluid, they're almost balletic. He's telling a whole story with his body before the beat even properly drops. It becomes less about hitting every single beat with maximum force and more about creating this one continuous flowing line of movement that carries the entire emotion of the song. What this does is create this unique, almost breathy quality in his dance. You'll notice his transitions, even between really powerful moves, are soft and so deliberate. It adds this layer of vulnerability and, honestly, sophistication that you just don't see very often in such high-energy choreography. Okay, so Jimin's success with this unique style, it hasn't just happened in a vacuum. His influence has created this massive ripple effect, and it's actually encouraging a much broader shift across the entire K-pop industry. And again, this isn't just speculation. We've got sources to back it up. Back in 2021, the Korea Herald pointed out this exact trend. They said that K-pop's reliance on street dance and hip-hop is diversifying, and that contemporary dance is finding a much stronger foothold. So what does this shift actually look like in practice? Well, we're seeing more and more groups experimenting with abstract movements to get an idea across. We're seeing choreography that cares more about emotional nuances. Performances are starting to feel less rigid, less formulaic. And why does this matter? Because this diversification is so crucial. It's what allows the genre to tackle much more complex and artistic themes. And all of this really brings us to the core of it all. When you get past the technique, past the industry trends, the ultimate impact of this entire shift It really just comes down to one thing: emotion. Because let's be real, at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to execute a perfect dance move. The goal is to make the audience actually feel something. The technique, as amazing as it is just the tool you use to build that connection. And you can really see the progression here. Step 1, you have the technical skill. That's the foundation from his training. Step 2, he uses that skill to tell a story with his movement. Step 3, that storytelling is what builds a real, deep emotional connection with us, the viewers. And finally, step 4, that connection is the magic ingredient that elevates a performance from just impressive movement into actual art. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. What Jimin and this whole shift in K-pop really proves is that great art isn't just about showing an audience something impressive. It's about making them feel it. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question. As artists like Jimin keep tearing down the walls between genres, between modern dance and pop music, it really makes you wonder, what's next? What does the future of performance even look like when the only rule left is just pure, authentic expression?